Oh shit, we live. Oh shit. What up, Kim folk? I just felt like clowning today. I hit him with the left hook and dropped him. Then the homies came around, they all catching left hook. Smash Rockwell catching left hook. Reggie kept catching left hooks. I'm just gonna have a little fun today. What up, Donnie? What's up, cuz? What's up, blood? The DNA. What's up, blood? So I'm just clowning right. I don't know if everybody knows, but we're gonna get to it in a second. I hit Anhk with a left hook so cold blooded. He started doing the chicken dance and was just bobbing and he was just you know how you hit somebody and they do the chicken dance? Let me show you. I got a cold left hook, bro. In real life, that left, you know how you hit them with the left hook, and then they start doing the chicken dance. That's what these niggas been doing, the chicken dance from that left hook. Wait, look at the form. Joe Frazier used to have the coldest left hook. He's known as the left hook legend. Look it up. Joe Frazier, the left hook legend. He would get down, he would bend down and come with that left. And that's what he dropped Ali with. Ali said, "Ooh, oh the goat." Joe Frazier was the left hook legend, putting them to sleep. Right? I didn't put these cats to sleep. Hey, Oak the goat, man. I appreciate you as always, man. I appreciate you as always, man. So I just wanted to clown around today and show that left hook I hit him with. And dropped him. Then Smash tried to run up. Dropped him. Reggie tried to run up. Dropped him. The rest of the community tried. Chief X was like, dropped him. Sit down. Sat him on their ass. And made him do the stinky leg. The chicken leg, the stinky leg. Well, how you do? Bow. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Geechee Dan Buford, what's happening with you? So I just wanted to clown around for a minute. We ain't going to be here all day. I figure I put together a little 38-minute live stream to clown around and have fun. Cory, former member of the Pseudo Killers, Concrete Cory, Cosmos Cory, sent me a link of an old live stream they did. What's up, Dove Dreams? Right? Let me get in the middle of this. Hold on. Okay. So sent me a clip of a live stream they done back in the day, talking about how Chief X hit him with the left hook, and that was regards to the Mediterranean argument. And when Chief X called the ancient Egyptians Mediterranean people. Okay, we got 30 up here. Now, Chief X, why did you call them Mediterranean people? And I said this at the time. I knew black folk, black Americans, can say anything they want, but they know goddamn well they wouldn't be considered Mediterranean people, right? They wouldn't be. They know that they didn't do business and run around in the Mediterranean world. They didn't do trade and business in the Mediterranean world. Mediterranean people and Mediterranean countries done that. It also goes into me also saying, and 3 years later, no one has still proved it. I said, name one black African country, nation, tribe, I'm talking about sub-Saharan black folk. Name one tribe, nation, black culture, whatever, that was indigenous to North Africa. North Africa, the Levant, the Near East, Caucasus, Europe, anywhere. Name one. People to this day cannot name one. And it just rolls right into the Mediterranean argument. There were no black folk in the Mediterranean world doing business and trade ever in the history of mankind, and no one can name one. Same thing. Black folk aren't Mediterranean people. Black folk, the majority of them, are tropical Africans. We in the Congo in that rainforest, Nigeria. That's why Nigeria is one of the Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa doesn't have the greatest soil, contrary to popular belief. It's fucking dried up, and anywhere there's not a lot of rain, the soil ain't shit. I didn't realize this until I started studying about geography in different places. I used to say, hey, you can spit on the ground in Africa and a tree will grow. I was wrong as fuck. So a lot of that shit is dried up. The land ain't shit. But in certain areas in tropical Africa, in the Congo, Nigeria has rich land because it's tropical Africa. So anywhere there's rain, that means the soil in that geographical area is better than places where there's no rain. You get what I'm saying? Okay? So let's get into this. So no black folk were ever indigenous to North Africa, Levant, the Near East, Caucasus, or any of these areas. So when we talk about Mediterranean people, black folk don't fit the bill. So so when I started the Mediterranean area, it made them mad. I said Egypt is a Mediterranean country, a Mediterranean culture, and they had Mediterranean food. That pissed Afrocentrics off because they felt left out. So Narmer, who was the first pharaoh of ancient Egypt, united Upper and Lower Egypt. So guess who Narmer was uniting with? His own kind, his own people. They were one. Their enemies were Asiatics and Nubians. The Egyptians' people weren't Nubians. Nubians were their enemies, and they trampled on Nubians. I got. Hold on. I got a book. What's up, Gina A? Gina, the question is, let me just be clear. Question for you, Chief X. Let's just read the question. When you say sub-Saharan tribes in North Africa, what time period are you talking about? Because sub-Saharan wasn't a thing then, right? I'm talking about geographical areas. Forget the name. Call it Undondo. We speak English, so I'm calling it what we call it in English today, sub-Saharan Africa. Whatever you want to call it, make up a name. I'm talking about people in that geographical area. And what time period? Since the beginning of mankind. Never were black folk indigenous to any of them areas ever. Okay? And this is why no one can name it. Name this tribe or African country. Excuse me. Let me not say African because Africa is diverse. All Africa is not black Africa. Sub-Saharan Africans, black Africans, kinky-haired people, Africoids, Congoids, Negroids, whatever terminology, they're not indigenous to North Africa and never were. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. So, Nubians was his enemies. I got this book called Wretched Kush. Egyptians called them wretched. It's in papyrus. It's recorded. They were the enemies to Egyptians. And the Egyptians had borders at Aswan preventing Nubians from coming up in there. Okay? Let's be clear. I will tell not one falsehood here. If y'all want to hear falsehood, go to the mother niggas channels. Now, um, let's just do this. Let's just do this, and we're gonna move forward into the presentation. So let me just show you. So we're not confused, right? Chief X is not making this up. This is just geographical reality. List of Mediterranean countries, okay? Then you go down. North Africa, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco are Mediterranean countries. Did Chief X make that up? No, this is simply the reality. Egypt is a Mediterranean country. Niggas ain't Mediterranean. Now, let me get back to my. Oops, am I sharing my screen? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Let's be clear. So you see list of countries in the Mediterranean basin, list of Mediterranean countries. Then we go down, and who would he see as a Mediterranean country? Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. Let me get my tablet on. Turn my tablet on there. Okay, there we go. Make sure everything is sharing correctly. Okay, so we're clear on Egypt being a Mediterranean country, and I'll go further into that in a minute. Right? Now, let me play the stream which triggered this, right? Now, it's not Garfield, excuse me. Anhk, Reggie, and Smash Rockwell has argued me down on this forever. And they have to admit they were just wrong. Anhk made a whole video on it right here. Community of Skeptics, which used to be Real Black Atheist channel, right? He says proof the Egyptians is not a Mediterranean people. Brother Anhk, aka Bobby Banger, aka God Killer. He did that shit. He was proven wrong. Let's go. This was his claim. He's wrong on his claim. I just showed you it was a Mediterranean culture, and they have what we call Mediterranean people. So first, let me just play this stream. One second. Where we at? That the pseudo killers had about 2 years ago, right? This is the pseudo killers channel right here, right? And we're gonna play it from the beginning of how I set them up and hit them with the left hook, right? Let's pay attention and listen, family.
Stances is fighting the Mediterranean point. And I know this gonna piss y'all off, but I gotta say it. I got to. Because Chief X predicted this point. And it's crazy y'all let him catch y'all with the same curveball every time he throw it. Every time he throw it, he predicted it. He say, I'm using the Mediterranean, right?
Right.
Because I know it takes black people, right, and away from Egypt.
Right.
So he know y'all gonna fight it because y'all know in y'all hearts that black people was not large brokers on the Mediterranean Sea. And they wasn't large brokers in the Mediterranean culture. They know that. So he basically said, I'm going to use this and y'all dive over and fight it just out of y'all Afrocentricity because y'all know that if you say Mediterranean, y'all niggas ain't a part of it. And he
Hold
got
on.
to.
Hold
And
on for a
y'all
minute.
fighting
Hold
it.
on. Don't say nothing, Reggie. Magic Mike,
Y'all
you agree with that?
fighting it.
I
That's a
agree with
cold
I
shot.
agree. I agree.
You agree with
Don't
that?
pull up
Corey, you
Yeah, I
agree with
Rosetta
agree.
because
that?
that's in the Delta. Don't pull up Rosetta because that's in
Hey,
the
hold
Delta.
on. Corey,
Last
you
time
agree with
I
that?
learned Egypt.
He said, don't pull up Rosetta because that's in the Delta. Yeah, the Delta, as I'll show you as we go along, the Delta is part of the Mediterranean. It flows, the Nile ends right there at the Delta and flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The Rosetta Stone was found in the Delta. All the major cities of Egypt where large populations is close to the Mediterranean Sea, right? Like a city of Alexandria, Cairo. All that is near the Mediterranean Sea. The Sphinx, Pyramid of Giza, all that is near the Mediterranean coast. Actually, it's maybe the Sphinx, I think, is 100 miles from the Mediterranean coast. So, who would build the stuff in the Delta along the Mediterranean Sea? Who would build that except Mediterranean people? Common sense here. Let's go.
The Delta
Yeah,
was in Egypt.
I
Hold on
agree
for a
with
The
minute.
every word
Delta
of that.
is in
Okay,
Egypt.
hey
Don't
Reggie.
let
Hey
them get
Reggie.
you with the
Hey
nonsense.
Reggie, you was right. They was trying to do a fake you out the whole time. I got you. You was right. You smoked them out, Reggie. I thought they was kind of shifting, but you smoked them out. So the shit is back on again.
Did we ever
Everybody
say
So this whole stream, Anhk was agreeing with them until Chevron said Chief X hit him with the left hook and got them caught up in the argument. So now he's mad that he said Chief X's name.
know what the
Egypt
hell
No,
they
no,
wasn't in
no.
Africa?
everybody know what that dude now you just gave that dude a way out because now he gonna act like he just was saying that. See?
He
Nah, that ain't what
said
that
it.
nigga meant. We
Fuck
all
that
know
He
we
said he
all
did
heard
say
that.
that.
No,
He said it. He
nobody,
That's
said
what
that.
he
no, no,
said. You
no,
mad
no,
because he said
no,
that?
no,
And
That's
you
what
no.
who
ran into
said.
First
that
of
Hold
left
on,
all,
hold
hook.
on. That's what who
first of
said.
all,
Chief
it's
X.
obvious.
You
First
Oh
of
yeah,
mad
all,
because
that's
you
what he
ran
said.
into the left hook.
Oh, that's what
first
who
of
said.
all,
Chief
it's
X.
obvious.
You
Oh
First of
yeah,
mad
all,
because
that's
you
what he
ran
said.
into the left hook. You keep
nah,
Ah! Chevron said you ran into the left hook. Niggas ran into the left hook. I set their ass up. Say it again.
running into
nah,
Chief
it.
it's
X.
obvious.
You
Oh
First of
yeah,
mad
all,
because
that's
you
what he
ran
said.
into the left hook. You keep
nah,
running into
nah,
it.
nah. You're crazy. Nah. Stop it. Stop protecting Captain Suit off. Knock it
He
off.
set you up and you keep
Knock it.
running
Ain't
into that
set me
left
up,
hook.
man. Stop it, man.
No,
Knock it
you
off,
thought that I
man.
was napping, nigga. No, nigga.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, they had me
All right.
napping, Reggie. They
Hey,
had
why?
me
Hey,
napping.
Unc, watch
Right.
this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna show him
nah, we
something
ain't
real
get,
quick.
we is on.
I'm gonna show
It's
the
Now
on.
audience.
Egypt ain't in the now
It's
Egypt
on.
ain't part of
Nah,
the
nigga.
It's
Not
not a
by
Mediterranean
that nigga
coast.
Hey,
For the
definition. Nah,
So
understanding that
nah,
we
he
nigga.
Hey, yo,
came
caught
to,
Unc,
we
y'all
don't
with
have
that
to
Unc.
left
understand.
hook
Nah, nigga.
and
Nah,
y'all
nigga.
look
Not by that.
crazy like
Nah,
that.
nigga.
Hey,
Nah,
look at the screen.
nah,
Look at the screen.
nah,
Y'all
Now,
look
I'm gonna search
crazy.
the word Africa, right?
nah,
What
There's
the fuck?
30
nah,
pages in this bitch. I'm gonna
Oh,
nah.
search the word Africa, right? Watch
Yeah, go
this.
ahead.
Africa. One of 6 matches
Okay,
in
let me stop. I'm gonna forward it so we don't want to belabor this too long. Let's go to uh, here.
further removed from now in the geography, right?
Okay, here we go.
But like I said, they jumped off, right? Because in my soul, I couldn't sit here and not acknowledge that Chief X predicted that
Yeah, he did.
whoop the
Yeah.
Mediterranean.
He did.
And they fell right into it. Like, yo, this shit, like, come on. This shit shouldn't be that easy, yo. Nobody shouldn't be able to telegraph where you gonna fall at, yo. And you do it every fucking time. Like, so it's obvious what y'all doing at this point. Your Afrocentricity is obvious at this point. Y'all are denying geography. Even at this point, y'all are denying geography. At this point, y'all are denying geography. Egypt is Mediterranean the same way Greece, Rome, the eastern part of Western Asia, you feel me? And the rest of North Africa that borders the Mediterranean. In that same context, all of them are Mediterranean cultures. All of those cultures, you know what I mean, contribute to the Mediterranean world. That's what it's saying. Y'all think so it's crazy. Y'all can't even acknowledge that. Y'all can't even acknowledge that because, like Chief X said, if you do, y'all know that by saying Mediterranean, it further removes Black Africa away from Egypt. It further removes Black Africa away from Egypt. Not Africa, right? Africa is comprised of a multitude of different peoples and phenotypes and
Teach, Chevron, teach!
everything of a multitude of different peoples and phenotypes and everything else. But what it does is it pushes sub-Saharan Africans further away from Egypt. And y'all trying to push sub-Saharan Africans smack dab in Egypt. Y'all trying to replace the Egyptians with the sub-Saharan Africans. And by putting the Mediterranean on it, y'all know in y'all fucking hearts that it removes or pushes sub-Saharan Africans further away from Egypt. And I'll stop. Who's next?
Yeah.
Teach, Chevron went in. Here we go. We're going to play this last 2 minutes, and then I'm about to reprove my point, right? And hit these niggas with the left hook, right? We're going to hit these niggas with a double left hook. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Where do I want to go? Let's go here.
Is that 90 miles?
No.
It's like 90
Oh, okay. The water.
Yeah.
All right.
But even the point you're making about the longitudes, right?
Now, this is a guy named Google Scholar. He used to didn't agree with me, but here he is. You see on here, he's agreeing with me. Go ahead, Google Scholar.
Mhm.
It's kind of irrelevant because all culture, all the countries that touches the Mediterranean are
Mhm.
considered Mediterranean. That's just you don't have to argue about that. As a matter of fact, I think it's silly to argue about that. You don't have to argue about that. As a matter of fact, I think it's silly to argue about that because there's no.
So they calling Anhk, Smash Rockwell, who popped in the chat, and Reggie silly to argue that shit. It is silly to argue. It is really silly. Matter of fact, it's downright disrespectful.
It is, Google. It is. And they keep doing it. And it proves Chief X goddamn prediction. It proves Chief X prediction. He knew they was going to argue it. Nobody who looks at a map or reads anything would argue that but an Afrocentric who is trying to usurp or put other people in Egypt or take it away from its place geographically and historically. Only the people who's trying to twist that would argue that shit.
Yeah, Tunisia is way out there in the. But go ahead, Shepard. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it's way out there in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, only the people.
Mind you, he said Tunisia, and we're going to talk about Tunisia, Tunisian people, and Mediterranean food. We're going to play a little clip on that. Stay tuned.
Only the people that's trying to twist something would argue against that point, right? The same way
Niggas who's lying, being deceitful would argue that point. That AKA Smash, Anhk, and Reggie.
that the only people that would twist Egypt's African context, right, and position and geography would be a racist white person. And they did it back in the day by trying to remove Egypt out of Africa. The Afrocentrists is now trying to remove Egypt out of the Mediterranean world. You see what I'm saying? Trying to remove Egypt out of Africa. The Afrocentrists is now trying to remove Egypt out of the Mediterranean. Afrocentrists is now trying to remove Egypt out of the Mediterranean. Afrocentrists is now trying to remove Egypt out of the Mediterranean world. You see what I'm saying? Like, they both got the same fucking sickness. That's why Anhk and Reggie and them always bringing up racism and white motherfuckers, because they're the opposite of that shit.
It's a trump card.
They the other side of that. So that's their biggest fight. That's their biggest fight, right? They want to do everything in the reverse. They want to do everything that the white man did, right? By saying that Egypt was white and this, that, and the third. They want to do the reverse. They want to say Egypt is black. You know what I mean? And it's South African to them niggas. You feel me?
Let them know, Chef Ring. Come on back to me for a second. Let me say something before I make my further points. We ain't gonna be here long, so y'all bear with me and don't go nowhere. All 45 of y'all, don't go nowhere. Listen. People have been going down the Nile and in and out and down the Nile for thousands of years. Before Egypt was a nation state. Before Egypt was unified. How do you think they got down there? Hold on, Geechee again. Let me put it up here. That's my Cash App for anybody that want to donate and say thank you, Chief X, for teaching me this. I never knew. Thank you for redirecting my paradigm to get focused on what's right. Cash App a cat. I'm not picky. You know what I mean? Whether it's $1 or $100, Chief X is happy for it and appreciate it. So check this out. So they've been going down, up and down, and now it's always been a super highway, even before the nation state was formed. This is why Narmer, after he unified Upper and Lower Egypt, guess what Narmer did? Made a beeline back down the Nile and started gang-banging on Nubians and banging on them cats. I've proved this. It's on record. Narmer sent military expeditions down into Nubia to bang on niggas, to bang on black folk. He wasn't black folk. They were his enemies. He banged on black folk. Now, when Narmer united Upper and Lower Egypt, guess who was in Lower Egypt? Mediterranean people. Lower Egypt, or aka Northern Egypt, along the Mediterranean coast, all in the Delta, Cairo, Giza Plateau and shit. When he united Upper and Lower Egypt, he was uniting with his people. He united with Mediterranean people because he was a Mediterranean person. Regardless of where you first heard of the written history of him, he come from the same stock as them people who was going all up and down the Nile, from the Mediterranean, West Asia, the fucking Levant, all up and down there. Mediterranean people he united with. You see how simple it is? That common sense science? Man, it's not rocket science, people. Nubian was enemies. Nubia had Nubians, anybody down south who wasn't an Egyptian had absolutely zero to do with the Mediterranean world, trade and business in the Mediterranean. Okay? Let's be clear. Hit the Cash App, family. Now, I'm going to remove this so I can go ahead. Now, what Chevron and Cory did was put up this link from UNESCO, right? Not only, where's it at? Where is this link? Here we go. You see at top, not Chief X, UNESCO, who Reggie and all these cats like to use. What is the title in this book, in this literature? Egypt and who? The Mediterranean world. And I don't want to go into reading this because it would belabor and just make this video longer than I want it to be. And they break it down how Egypt was involved in the Mediterranean world and how Egypt is part of the Mediterranean world. Gina, I need you to listen. I need you to listen, sis. Don't argue with people in the chat. Sis, you have to listen. And you have to just erase all that shit you thought and say, you know what? Chief X is trying to help me. Chief X is trying to make me get it. I got your back, Gina. They don't have your back. Chief X got your back, Gina. Listen, sis. And when from now on they act like Egyptians ain't Mediterranean and say, hey, Chief X proved that point. I'm sorry, y'all. Egypt in the Mediterranean world, UNESCO, digital library. They go all into it. I don't have to keep reading all this. But just let you know, the world of academia backs Chief X. Okay? Let's continue. Let me just go play this real quick. This is a video I recorded talking to who? Some Mediterranean people who happen to be Tunisian. And he sells what kind of food? Mediterranean food. Y'all not, now see, y'all ain't no falafel eating motherfuckers. Let's see what he says. And you got niggas like Smash Rockwell, washed up rappers. He listening to me right now, so I'm clowning. You got washed up rappers like Smash Rockwell, niggas in Oakland, trying to tell Tunisians what they are. Let a Tunisian tell you what he is. Why would you listen to a nigga in Atlanta named Brother Anhk? A nigga in the fucking Bronx, or wherever he lives, named Brother Reggie. Niggas 8,000 miles away. Two cats who never even been to Africa, let alone Egypt. Reggie been, but Anhk and Smash ain't never. These niggas is born and raised in North Africa, and they know what kind of food they got. They know what they are. Hear it from the horse's mouth. So I'm at this, he's selling Mediterranean food. He's from Tunisia. And on his sausage he's selling, it says Mediterranean traditional food. What does it say on it there? And he's from, on his sausage he's selling, it says Mediterranean traditional food. You shut your mouth trying to tell North Africans and Egyptians what they are. They'll tell you who they are. Some washed up rapper named Smash Rockwell in Oakland talking out his backyard in the garage trying to tell people who they are and who they ain't. Shut your mouth. Mediterranean tradition. On his sausage he's selling, it says Mediterranean traditional foods. And he's from Tunisia.
I am from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean.
And he's from Tunisia.
I am from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean.
And he's from Tunisia.
I am from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean.
Shut your goddamn mouth, Smash Rockwell. Shut your mouth, Brother Reggie. Shut your mouth, Brother Anhk. You getting hit with the left hook. You're getting hit with the left hook today. You've been getting hit with the left hook doing the chicken dance. From Tunisia.
I am from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean.
And he's from Tunisia.
I am from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean.
Pause. You can be two things at once. You can be Tunisian, you can be African, and you can be Mediterranean. What's wrong with you niggas? Who's claiming he's not African? Not Chief X. He's an African. He's a Tunisian. Tunisia is in Africa. He's just not a black African. North Africa has never, ever, ever, ever been black Africa. I'm sorry.
The countries on the Mediterranean.
You consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean. Half of the countries on the Mediterranean. Beautiful Tunisia is the pearl of the Mediterranean.
I mean, he said, God damn it, he said, beautiful Tunisia is the pearl of the Mediterranean. He's representing. If you're talking to me, American Dream, I'll take questions. I always put the link in at the end, but nobody jumps on. Here we go.
I'm from Tunisia.
Do you consider yourself Mediterranean?
I am Mediterranean. Half of the countries on the Mediterranean. Beautiful Tunisia is the pearl of the Mediterranean.
I keep telling y'all.
All the food is good.
Look, Mediterranean.
What does it say? Anybody in sub-Saharan Africa ever called their food Mediterranean food? Why? Because they're not Mediterranean people. Niggas, black folk, Africoids, Congoids, Negroids are not Mediterranean people, and they had nothing to do with the Mediterranean world. Egyptians did.
They're North Africans are Mediterranean people.
We got the tuna too.
Now pause. Primary motherfucking evidence. Look here. Let's just read what this says. Since we're talking about food, look, the best of the Eastern Mediterranean, and they're talking about foods, right? Foods, right? I'm not just making this up. Old ways, it says. Let's just blow it up so you niggas can see. So you niggas can get mad. The Eastern Mediterranean, commonly known for its rich culture and traditions, its breathtaking bright blue beaches, its historic ancient ruins, encompasses the countries of the Mediterranean Sea, namely what? Cyprus, Greece, Albania, Lebanon, Syria, Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Turkey, and who? Egypt. And who? Egypt. You stupid ass. While understanding the region's cuisines is often limited to staples as flatbreads, is blah, 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 blah. Mediterranean cooking, characterized by shared culinary customs of those who live around the Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean includes a vast array of cultures with diverse cuisines, including the Maghrebi, Egyptian, Maghrebi, Tunisia is in the Maghreb, Levantine, Ottoman, Greek, Italian. I mean, we can go on and on. Shut your mouth. You guys don't eat Mediterranean foods because you're not from the Mediterranean. Let's move forward. Now, Chief X. Show them getting hit with the left hook. See, I got Joe Frazier in my thumbnail. Joe Frazier was called the left hook legend. And show them how you did them, Chief X. Hit him with the left hook, Chief. Hit him with the left hook.
23 knockouts, the heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier, a.k.a. Chief X. Got. 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 Out. Out. Ow! Get him, Joe! Set the ass down, Joe. Sit Ali's ass down, Joe. Get him, Joe. Is that Smash Rockwell on his back? Ah! Show him how you do Reggie, Chief X.
And that does it.
Ah, the left hook legend, the left hook legend. Do it to him, Joe. Ah, he sat Reggie down. Damn, he hit Smash Rockwell in the body with a left hook. Drop Smash with the left to the body.
Frazier always in pursuit, and you saw that left hook. Frazier always in pursuit, and you saw that left.
Oh, did you hear him? He said Chief X always in the pursuit. Watch this left hook. Listen.
Frazier always in pursuit, and you saw that left hook.
I ran them niggas into the left hook. Sheffman was right. You know Joe Frazier's coming with the left hook, and you still can't get out the way.
So is Ramos. He's got Ramos in trouble on the rope. Again with the left. Ellis standing there. Oh!
Set these niggas down, Joe. Set their ass down. Oh! Well, the ref said no mas. Leave him alone, Joe. Chief X, stop. You killing him, Chief X. Chief X, put your hands in the air. Yeah, we won this shit. Yeah, the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. Left hook Joe. Chief X hit him with the left hook. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's see that. Hit him with the left. I'm telling you. Oh shit, I'm here clowning, having fun today. Man, ran these niggas in the left hook with the Mediterranean argument. Them niggas is on skates. Damn, I'm out of shape. Hold on. Now, you say you like my outfit today? Nice cap. Look, I'm matching a little bit. Hold on. Got the red and blue, you know. I got the dicky pants on, the red and blue. Hold on. a minute. Wait a minute. Got the blue and the red representing West African American, West Africa, African American, representing the West Side. Look, got the blue and red, the Dickies on. Well, I even had the feelers on. The old school feeler, blue and red. What? What? Man, stop. Smash. You know we take it back in Cali to the feelers. Huh? The feelers. Huh? You know how we do it in Cali. But this Southern Cali, you in Northern Cali. We don't fuck with you Northern California cats, nigga. This LA. Let me stop. Oh my God. So where are we now? Let's go further into knocking these niggas' dick in the dirt. Hold on. Where we at now? Okay. Let's put some scholarship on their ass. Hit them with some more left hooks. Let's hit them with the left hook. So, right here, we have scholarship world history volumes in open stacks, right? Let me just blow it up so you guys, oops. So you guys can see, damn. It disappears when I blow it up. Okay, there we go, right here. I'm not just making this up. Now, there's not a Mediterranean race. That's an obsolete term. But in world history, they talk about early, not late, early Mediterranean peoples. World History, Volume 1 to 1500. Hey, it is what it is. Get over it. Right? And then they go into, right here, the late Bronze Age world. Egypt was a dominant economic and military power in the Mediterranean world. Egypt was a Mediterranean culture, a Mediterranean people, a Mediterranean country. I'm sorry. Early Mediterranean peoples. Let's move off that and keep hitting them with a left hook. Right? At this point, it's child abuse. It is child abuse at this point. I should be arrested for child abuse. Oops. Where is this clip at? Hold on. Here we go. So we're talking about what? Egypt. History. Ancient Egypt. What does the History Channel say about them? Right? What they say Egypt was? Ancient Egypt was the what? Preeminent civilization in the Mediterranean world for almost 30 centuries. From its unification around 300 BC, would I tell you? Narmer unified Upper and Lower Egypt, which means he unified the southern Egyptians with the northern Egyptians. The northern Egyptians was along the Mediterranean Sea, along the Mediterranean coast, in large Mediterranean cities, in the delta, marshland, wetlands, which empties into the Mediterranean Sea. Egypt was the preeminent civilization. Do you know what the fuck preeminent means? You wasn't just a fixture there. You was the leading preeminent civilization in the Mediterranean world. That means you are a Mediterranean civilization, this says. Not only a Mediterranean culture, a Mediterranean country, Mediterranean people, the preeminent Mediterranean civilization in the Mediterranean world. Bend the knee right now and apologize to Chief X. You didn't have to get hit with the left hook and sat down and knocked out. You didn't have to get knocked out. But you chose to get put to sleep. You chose to try me, and you lost the fight. You lost the fight. Let's continue on. The Mediterranean Sea name. Stop playing with these people, man. The history of the Mediterranean is essential to understanding the origin story and development of many ancient and modern societies. Some of the greatest civilizations ever created in the history of mankind can be found on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea. Who are they talking about? Peoples of the region: Egyptian, Mesopotamian, Semitic, Phoenician, Persian, Greek, Carthaginian, and Roman cultures were part of what? The history of the Mediterranean Sea. Shut your goddamn mouth, niggas. And the Egyptians even had a god for it. The Mediterranean Sea was referred to by ancient Egyptians by many such as, that's their name. This is the name of the god, the Mediterranean Sea. Due to what? The existence of papyrus forests all up in the delta. Papyrus grew plentiful. Nubians wasn't fucking with no papyrus. They was down there in the desert. Egypt is too, but I'm just saying for this context. Papyrus. Guess who was all up in the fucking marshes and the wetlands? Huh? Guess who was there? The goddess Hathor. The goddess Hathor. The goddess Hathor was Mediterranean. I'm sorry. There go the cow and Hathor. All up amongst the papyrus plants, all up in the wetlands in the marsh, all in the Mediterranean in the delta. I'm not making this up. Hathor was a Mediterranean god. Somebody gonna take me out of context, right? um, Let me just show you what this underline says about Hathor, right? In the papyrus to the right, Hathor is shown as a cow emerging from the hills of the west into the clump of papyrus plants. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let's continue on. Let me just go in order. Widger. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is the god of the Nile. This is what they call it. Right? Right? Widger is also spelled Yetshur, is an Egyptian god of fertility and the personification of the Mediterranean Sea. What's this god was? The personification of the Mediterranean Sea, whose name means the great green. He also symbolizes the richness of the waters of the Nile Delta. Right? The Nile Delta, the richness of the waters, the wetlands, the marsh, all that shit is in the Mediterranean, and the Nile filters out into the Mediterranean Sea. What's next to the Nile Delta? Cairo is just a little bit south of it. The Sphinx, the pyramids of Giza, is a little south of the Nile Delta, damn near on the Nile Delta. All that shit was built by Mediterranean people. It is commonly believed that Widjar was a personification of the Mediterranean Sea. However, he has also rather represented the lagoons, the lakes, and the northernmost Nile Delta. Not the southern, But the northernmost Nile Delta, they called it what? The Great Green. Yes, not only did they have a name for the Nile, Happy, they had a name of a god for the Mediterranean Sea and the Delta. These niggas are getting hit with all kind of left hooks. Let's continue on. Again, right here, we're on another source. The Mediterranean god, Wajwer, the great green deity. Okay? Referring to either the Mediterranean Sea or large bodies of water, such as a network of lakes at the northern limits of the delta. I keep telling people that marshland, the wetland, the delta, that's part of the Mediterranean Sea, basically. It's in the Mediterranean region. Look at the wetlands, the great green papyrus plants growing abundantly. What did Egyptians write on? Papyrus. Where'd that papyrus come from? The marshlands, the wetlands, the Mediterranean, the delta. They're Mediterranean people fucking with papyrus plant, and they wrote their information on papyrus. The Nile Delta, Wajwer, was understood as a living god permeating with spirits of the divine, which, like other aspects of the natural world, was a gift from the gods. He was the sea or delta itself, and was sometimes pictured as a male with long hair and breasts heavy for nurturing, with skin decorated. Bro, we go on. There we go. The blue in him, as you see, is wiggly, represent waves in the water. Oh, they break this down. Oh, they didn't tell you, Smash and them didn't tell you this? He is depicted in the manner that is very similar to the god of the Nile, Happy, except his body is covered with lines representing waves. These are not Nubian gods. These are not black folk gods. These are people of the Mediterranean region's gods. The Great Green. The Great Green. There we go. Do he look like a black man? All right, let me stop. In the pyramid text, utterance 366, the pharaoh compared Wajur. You are hale and great in your name of the sea. Behold, you are great in encircling your name of ocean. It's in the pyramid text. Hitting him with that left hook. This is the Wajir. You see the water, the waves, the wiggly lines in his body? Right here. I'm saying his name. Wajwer at the mortuary temple of the pharaoh Sahur. The Mediterranean Sea, basically, or the god, was worshipped as early as the Old Kingdom, and drawings and inscriptions are found at the pharaoh pyramid complex in mortuary temple, located near what? Cairo. Oh, they're gonna throw Cairo up in there? Guess where the Giza and the pyramids and the Sphinx is? Right by Cairo, close to the Mediterranean region. Not down there with Nubians. Okay? Wajir is associated with fertility and prosperity. Bibliography, and here's sources. Anybody see? Look, papyrus. Now, I'm not going to go deep on this, but I'm just saying papyrus. Where can it be found? In many different places, just to be honest with you. Let me make this smaller. We're going to end this. Stay with me, family. Stay with me. Here it says papyrus history. Hold on. It says what? The ancient Egyptians, the source of papyrus papers was the first paper ever made. In nature, grows in full sun, in flooded swamps, and on lakes, right? Anywhere, Mediterranean countries. I'm not making up what Mediterranean countries. Academia talks about Mediterranean countries. I didn't just pull that out my ass. It grows in papyrus history. It says right here, right? Can you read? Hit him with the left hook some more. What does it say about the papyrus history? Egyptians used the plant. Many other people did, but mainly Egyptians. It's what they wrote on. Pam family, it is what it is. Let's continue on. Let's move on. I went in on Hathor. Hathor with the sacred eye and papyrus. Right? They go Hathor. All amongst the papyrus plants, all up in the marsh. The cow goddess. Right? Hathor with sacred eye in papyrus. Image of papyrus of Anhk, the ancient Egyptian text showing Hathor emerging from a mountain and coming through papyrus plants. Hathor was a Mediterranean deity. Let's continue on. All these left hooks. Right here, the river delta shoreline. Re-broken erosion in the Mediterranean and Black Seas. Look, the Nile River flows into what we call a delta. And the delta is part of the Mediterranean Sea. You got to get over it, family. The Mediterranean basin, including the Black Sea, is characterized by a plethora of deltas. A plethora of deltas. Right? Let's continue and move on so we won't be here all day. The Nile Delta. The Mediterranean Sea is pictures of, right? It was something on here I wanted to read. I forgot. Where is it? The Rosetta Stone was found in the Delta. Huh? The investigations were conducted by Egyptian and European divers. Let's move on. So I want you to know that delta, the marshlands, the wetlands, is part of the Mediterranean Sea and considered of the Mediterranean region. The Sphinx. I had a point about the Sphinx. Its location. You guys know where Cairo is? It's a little above Cairo. Where's the part where it said 100 miles from the Mediterranean Sea? Let me move to here. Hold on. Right here. Wait a minute. Cairo, Egypt. Can you see? Cairo, Egypt. This is the delta. What? Steeped in, hold on. Let's blow it up so we won't be confused. Steeped in a 5,000 year history that encompasses Egyptian pharaohs, ancient wonders, Roman emperors, and the bloody conquest, Cairo, Egypt, sits on the Nile River about what? 100 miles south of the Mediterranean Sea. That's not far when we're talking about geography. 100 miles south of the Mediterranean Sea? Well, guess who built it? I'm not sorry, who built it? This is what Cairo is. It's close to the Mediterranean. My son lives in Riverside, California, which is about 100 miles from where I live in Los Angeles. That's not far. We're in the same area, same geography, the same region. Okay? Let's move on. Like even when you pull up the map, can you guys see this map? This is the dot where the Great Sphinx of Giza is. Where is it at? Can't you see that red dot? Hold on, let me make sure you guys see it. God damn, the Great Sphinx is right not far from the Mediterranean Sea, at the bottom of the delta. If it's near the Mediterranean Sea, who do you think would build it? Mediterranean people. This is common sense science. It ain't down nowhere near Nubia. Nubians ain't had nothing to do with building the Sphinx or the pyramids. Not far from the Giza Plateau. The pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx is close to the damn delta, y'all. I don't have to make this up. This is simple geography. Niggas is arguing geography. Like, where they do that at? Okay, let's move forward. I think I may have touched on everything. I think I may have touched on everything. So, who did you sit down with the left hook, Chief X? Let me show you one more time before we get out of here. I sat down Brother Anhk. Because what did Brother Anhk say? Let's just blow it up so you can see. And Smash Rockwell and Reggie, they all said it. Anhk made a video. Here goes channel, the Community of Skeptics, which used to be Real Black Atheist channel. He made a video, whole video saying proof Egypt is not a Mediterranean. Let me just make it smaller. I'm going to get the whole words in there. Proof. It says right here, proof Egypt's not a Mediterranean people. Brother Anhk, aka Bobby Banger, aka God Killer. He was wrong. I proved him wrong. Gina? Girl. I got your back. They ain't never had your back, sis. Anhk was wrong. Smash was wrong. Now, let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. As you can see on my YouTube page, I have so many things, proving ancient Egypt is Mediterranean. Over a year ago, Egypt is a Mediterranean culture. Stupid ass. That was a good video. All Egyptians and North Africans are Mediterranean people. An Egyptian or Italian man said he's Mediterranean. Here's another one. Proof Egyptians are Mediterranean people. Part 3. I don't know how many times I got to hit these niggas with the left hook. Prove Chief X wrong. You win $100 about Egypt and the Mediterranean. These niggas never got that $100 because they never proved Chief X wrong. Here go another one. Chief X ragdolls Brother Anhk regarding Mediterranean countries and people. Here's another one. The Sphinx is along, and I have in quotations along, not right on the Mediterranean Sea. It's 100 miles away or so. Along the Mediterranean Sea. They have this one. They came from the north. Delta, pre-dynasticism, Mediterraneanism. So when I had this one, I said they came from the north. I was talking about people have been flowing in and out the Delta from the Mediterranean Sea into the Delta and all down the Nile River before there was a number one dynasty. Narmer's homies. Been going all up and down there from north to south of Egypt and all that for thousands of years. Then all of a sudden, Narmer gets a bug up his ass and says, let me unite us. Let me reunite my Mediterranean people together. And he united. Even on the Narmer palettes is Mesopotamian symbolism. We've done videos on that. The Mesopotamian symbolism came from where? The north. On down. King Tut, Queen T, Thuya, Yuya, all these people have DNA, mtDNA, K, West Asia. That means their ancestors, King Tut, Queen T, Thuya, Yuya in them, Ramses also. That means their ancestors came from West Asia area and been floating in and out there now. Them niggas came from the north, low key, if you want to be real. It just, when they became a nation state, they just began to unify it down there. By Thinis, by Abydos. The niggas been coming from the north for a long goddamn time. What y'all talking about in the chat? Hold up. I don't know if American Dream wanted to come on and say something. He said something about a link or questions or something. But I put the link in the chat. Let me pin that sucker. But them scary cats ain't gonna come on. Smash, if you come on, I ain't gonna boot you out before you even get on like you would do me. I don't censor shit. I'm ready for a challenge. I ain't scared. If people are scared to let you on their panel to discuss a subject, that means they're scared. If they don't allow you, them niggas can come on my panel anytime. Because Chief X got some fucking balls. And he's not scared. Let me just read a few comments in case somebody the link is there if somebody wanted to challenge this or if somebody wanted to co-sign it. But I ain't gonna be here that long. Baby fleece. Oh, baby fleece. Hit the cash app. What you say, Dot Real, Ricardo? They know the Kemet Foundation is crumbling. What you say, Ricardo? Reggie was cussing out the pseudo killers yesterday. There are cracks appearing in the Egyptomaniacs. Yeah. Gina says, laughing my ass off. See, Gina's not being genuine. Laughing my ass. Chief X, don't start with me. I'm just about the facts. If you're about the facts, you're about what I just said today in this entire lecture. If you're about the facts, you should now be saying Egyptians are Mediterranean people and that Smash Rockwell and Anhk and them was wrong. This is if you're about the facts. If you're not saying that, you're not about the facts. I just showed all the facts. Yeah, somebody said this is not about skin complexion. Yes, stop that, y'all. I'm never talking skin complexion. Chief X argument is not about who was dark and who was light. That is the most silliest, stupid argument. That is an argument from people who are in denial. That is an argument from people who are trying to fit themselves in because they feel that they are dark. Right? What's up, American Dream? Hold on one second. So I don't talk this, oh, they're dark and they're light shit. This is the stupidest argument. It is common sense with anybody with half a brain that all melanated peoples, whether they're Cambodian, Filipino, Egyptian, Moroccan, Samoan, whatever they are, people vary in degrees. Some are dark, some are light. So why even talk dark and light? I'm talking population genetics and phenotype, but more so population genetics and who people are. Since people act like they didn't know what black was no more, I started saying negroid. Then they want to resolve that word. Oh, it's an obsolete word, but they really know who negroids are. Congoids, Africoids. Egyptians wasn't that. Okay, what's up, American Dream? How you doing, bro?
Peace, Chief. How are you?
Great, great, great. It's a great day.
Yes, sir. It's a blessed day. Indeed.
Anything
I
you want to
wanted to,
add?
um, well, I don't know if I want to add anything more so than just ask you a question, or two, maybe.
Okay.
Um, so,
If you're speaking, you're breaking up big time and went out. You may need to get close to wherever your internet box is. Are you on a cell phone outside?
I'm driving right now.
Oh, okay, you're driving. Yeah, you're on
Am I
a cell
still
phone
up,
outside.
or am I reaching?
When you first came on, you were good. You're really sketchy now.
Yeah, how am I sounding?
You're going in and out. I
Can
mean,
you
you
hear
may
me?
clear it for a second. I can hear you now, but you're about to go back out. I'm just saying, you're just. Who you got for a cell phone? You need to get this cell phone with Verizon. Can you hear me? Say so. Okay, he went out. He went out.
Can you hear me, Che?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just let me know if I cut out again. But I wanted to ask you in terms of the Cairo symposium with Diop, um, which side of the argument would you say you would be on? Because from what I've read and understand about the symposium, I don't remember hearing the word Mediterranean coming up in terms of explaining or describing Egypt. None of the three sides or at the symposium mentioned anything about Egypt being a Mediterranean culture. So I'm wondering, where do you think your argument falls in terms of this Cairo symposium? Whose side would you be on?
I'm always with the consensus of real scholars and experts. Um, I don't think at that time Diop was an expert. Um, so when I say that Tunisian man, I don't know if you caught it, I said the Tunisian man is Tunisian, he's North African, and he's Mediterranean. You can be three things at once. You can be two things at once, right? So in the symposium, they were specifically talking about Egypt and the mummies. So they wouldn't use the word Mediterranean and confuse the people when they're trying to be specific about scholarship and confuse the people with Moroccans because Moroccans are Mediterranean. So they're specific. They didn't have to use that name. It wasn't appropriate for that setting to use the word Mediterranean people because they're trying to be specific about ancient Egypt, right? So if I'm speaking about specifically Egyptians, I'm just not going to say Mediterranean people because I'm not talking about Moroccans, I'm not talking about Tunisians, I'm not talking about Algerians. You know what I mean? It was a more specific people in the argument that they were talking about. So in a
Sure.
discussion in a discussion like that, they don't have to use all three things, all three names that a people can be called. They just used one.
Right. I guess, my issue is like when it comes to this whole discussion, I know exactly which side of the discussion Smash falls on. I believe I know which side Anhk falls on for the most part. But I'm a little bit unsure of which side of the argument you fall, given the whole Mediterranean argument. Because again, like I said, none of the sides, as far as I understand it, none of the sides mentioned Egypt as a
Right.
Mediterranean culture or Mediterranean people. The consensus was that they were African. So just let me just ask you,
Real,
when you
real
say
quick,
they're Mediterranean,
real quick, American Dream. You have to
yeah,
understand what I'm saying. You're fighting your own mind. You just said that the consensus said that they're African. Okay?
right,
Wait, hold on. Just be clear. You have to know where I'm coming from in my arguments. I never said they weren't arguments, Africans.
African.
Yeah, when I was just speaking on Tunisians and I showed the man American, I said he is African, he is Tunisian, and he is Mediterranean. You can be three things at one time. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. So the Egyptians are Africans. They're
Right, but it
Mediterranean
sounds as
people.
if you're saying
It doesn't sound like that. You're tricking your
no. Well,
mind because you're listening to
it
them too much.
sounds. So what I'm saying is, it sounds as if you're saying they're African with a Mediterranean culture.
No,
But according to the consensus at the symposium, they were an African culture.
no. Listen to what I'm saying.
They didn't
I
mention
don't.
anything about
No, I don't know
Mediterranean.
who is they. Are you talking about Diop and them? Because you're not talking about the
No, not
consensus of
Diop. The
his.
side, this,
Right. So let's just be clear.
the
Let's just
side
be clear.
against Diop.
Let's be clear. I normally don't just say Africans because that's confusing to Black Americans. When you say African to Black Americans, their mind, you have to understand, their mindset is going to think of a nappy-haired black person. They didn't know North Africans weren't Black Africans until I told them this. So I'll be more specific and say North Africans to be specific about what people I'm talking about. The Egyptians are North Africans, not just Africans. They're North Africans. So if I'm speaking on people in Cambodia, they are Southeast Asians, not just Asians. So if I'm being clear and communicating properly to people, I got to say Southeast Asians so they won't think I'm talking about Iranians. So when I'm talking about Africa, I don't want people to think I'm talking about South Africans or West Africans. When I'm talking about Egypt, I'm talking about North Africans. So we have to be specific on geographical areas because
So
Africa is a diverse place.
sure. So let me ask you. So why aren't you concerned that when you say they're Mediterranean, why aren't you concerned that people are going to think you mean Sicilian or one of those or one of those European Mediterranean countries? Why aren't you? Because it doesn't seem to be a concern that that the consensus at the symposium had. They were fine with saying it's an African culture, and they didn't, really have a concern about whether people were going to take African and mean,
Yeah,
whatever, black skinned with whatever type of hair. They just felt that it was an African culture.
and that's fine, American Dream. Can you hear me? I think you went out again. Can you hear me?
I had a call come in. So my question is, why aren't you concerned about
No, no, no.
the the
I've said it.
connotations about calling
Right.
it Mediterranean?
Listen, listen. Calm down. Listen. I've said this in so many different ways, and you're still belaboring the same point. This is 2023. Whatever they talked about in symposium was it what 74 or even Bishek Diaz. This is an older time. We're wiser in 2023. I don't have to use the exact terminology anyone used in 74 or in the 1950s. It's 2023. If I'm speaking to people in 2023 on here on YouTube. And we don't have to use the same terminology. So whatever they use, they're not the authority over me, over any scholar talking in 2023. We're correcting them. You have to understand that to people. We're correcting the elders and people who were back in there. Like sometimes when Ivan Van Sertima is talking, he was spewing information before the genome was mapped. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff he was spewing about the Americans and stuff was the stuff he was spewing before the genome was mapped. So he's at a handicap. He's at a disadvantage to people in 2023 like me. I can bring up genetics and DNA science where he couldn't do that then. So I trump him now. So in 2023, we trump Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, and Sheikh Anta Diop. We trump them now. We have more information. The genome was mapped. In DNA, it's king. I don't care what the prosecuting attorney is arguing, what the defense attorney is arguing. Who gives a fuck about either one of them two? The defense or the prosecution side? When that DNA hit the court, that DNA tells both of them to shut their mouth. Shut up the prosecution team. Shut up the defense team. Shut up the judge. You even shut your goddamn mouth. DNA exonerated the person. Get him out of prison. And matter of fact, don't just get him out of prison because DNA exonerated him. Get him out of prison and pay him money for his troubles and you guys fucking him up. DNA is king. It don't matter what these people said, Sheikh Anta Diop said, what none of these people said. DNA trumps it all. And this is why Smash Rockwell and a lot of these people don't want to talk DNA. DNA kills their whole program. I'm too sharp. See, this is why they don't want to let me on panels. Because I'll bring a common sense science argument. Logic. I didn't say anything about ethnicity, Dina. You tricked your mind just now, Gina. You misheard everything because you're arguing. You're not listening to what I said. I said what we talk about 2023 trumps anything Diop or Ivan Van Sertima was saying because the genome was mapped and we have more information now. That's all I'm saying. Ah, the homies up in here. The homie T Ben, I thank you. I seen that yesterday. I seen the little donation T Ben yesterday. I appreciate you. And I want to tell you right now before T Ben go in. Can you hear me, T Ben?
Yep.
Regardless of what the hell a man, this man has the most beautiful family. He has a beautiful daughter. He has a beautiful wife. And this is just my favorite couple. I like looking at pictures of them. We could talk all this shit, but T Ben is a responsible married man who takes care of his family and children. And that trumps all this shit we talk about. What's up, T Ben?
Uh oh. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, T Ben.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Man, what you said, brother. I was leaving. The Wi-Fi was cutting off. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you. Did you want to add something, fam?
What what's going on, Chief X?
I said, let me go live today and have a little fun, man. So I just went live and wanted to talk a little shit and clown a little bit because I ain't got shit to do today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's raining out here in H Town, but I did want to just add a little something, man. It's a delay on my side, so sorry if I'm cutting in and out.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, but yeah, my I guess my question would be now because I think for the most part, a lot of us have already come to the realization that we don't come from damn Egypt. Now let's say that even if we did, a lot of us didn't. Okay, so how do we make West Africa more favorable in our eyes? I have an answer to that, but I want to get your perspective.
Um, it's gonna be tough. Like most African Americans know they come from there, but they're not really. Like I always say, black folk don't really care about history unless that history is glorifying us, right? So if we're
Right.
not glorified, it's like whatever, and we just kind of leave it alone or don't say nothing about it. But people have to understand, like I always say, there's poverty in underdeveloped nations everywhere in the world, all through
Right.
Asia, Australia, South America, man, Brazil. People are dirt poor. There's people still doing hunter gatherers in Brazil, all in the Amazon jungle. So we have to stop
Yeah.
being of the mindset where we got to compete with white folks for achievements and morality, and understand a lot of people around the world like, and it's just what it is, and it's okay. Everybody cannot be advanced at the same time. It just comes in stages depending on people's geographical area.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm here in H Town, and every single year, the National Black United Front, also known as MBUF, they hold a what we call caravan to the ancestors. So we go down to Galveston Beach. We wear our white, all white, to honor our ancestors that passed away, whether it's your grandmama, whether it's Marcus Garvey, whoever. And we even have Nigerians who practice, Yoruba, and they also join in to assist us. We have the drums going, and it's West African. So just as a suggestion, and wherever you at, plan something out that they do as a West African type of celebration to honor where you come from. That's my suggestion.
Right. And I think I've seen some pictures in you all white attending one of these, maybe last year, was
Yeah,
it?
we go every year. It's like we make it a family tradition to go.
Next time you go and do this, we should come on live and talk about it and have a discussion about that day and,
Hmm.
and what went on, the rituals, and how you guys enjoyed yourself that day. We should do a live stream on it the next time. When is it coming up?
It comes up. It's every October. So we didn't this last time October. This time we didn't go. We moved into a new house. We're doing all this moving around. We didn't have time to make it, but we going next year for sure.
Sounds good. And even if you want to do it, if you have a subject for a live stream, T Ben, and you want to talk about a festival or anything like that, some West African history, all you do is hit me up and we can do a live stream on it and just go in.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I like to talk shit sometimes too, man.
I'm open to all that. I'm open to all that.
My
What
homie Chief X, man. That's what I'm talking about.
American Dream? Did you want to add something? You back? You got better reception now?
Yeah, I guess. You know what I mean? It's gonna be touch and go, I guess. Um, yeah, I didn't want to belabor the other point. I realize y'all are speaking on something different right now.
No, sure,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, you seem to think it's
I cleared up the other point already. We can move on.
well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say you cleared it up for me. You know what I mean? The same questions really still stand. But again, like I said, I don't really want to belabor that point. I think the point has been made.
Right.
But in terms of, it seems like you're really vested in the idea of us referring to ourselves as West African American. Um, and I'm trying to figure out like what does that kind of look like? What do you uh, ultimately do you foresee people repatriating back to West Africa? Like,
So
what is
this,
your ultimate goal?
well, so let me clarify so you can know me. I'm not like these other cats. I'm a realist. I'm not a West African. I'm a Black American, and I represent that tribe as a Black American. I'm an African American. I'm a Black American, right? This is my tribe, Black America. I say my I have a distant heritage in West Africa, and we come from West and Central Africa. Our distant ancestors come from West and Central Africa. But today I'm a Black American, and I went to Ghana. I could never live in Ghana. I love Ghana. I can't wait to go back to Ghana, but I could never live there. And I went to repatriation meetings in Ghana and showed the paperwork and showed everybody. Nobody gave a damn. None of these Black Power people talking all this shit cared about the repatriation meeting. They didn't care about the land I showed that a Ghanaian chief had set aside for us. I showed people building homes on this land that was set aside for Black Americans. Nobody cared. Anhk Smash Rocco has never been to West Africa. That's how much you know they don't care about it. So all this Pan Africanism is dead, and it been died a long time ago. It died with Kwame Nkrumah, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So it's a bunch of flaw. Every all land is taken. So if you want to start over a new people, a new culture, you got to move to someone else's country who already owns the land and mix in with them. Everyone,
And you don't see
every Black American is welcome to move to Cuba, move anywhere in Africa they want to. You have that right. It's settled. I'm just spoiled. I'm a spoiled Black American. I couldn't live there. I like watching the Laker game. I can't watch the Laker game at 4 in the morning out in Africa. And I'm just spoiled. I don't want, like, I was in there. I'm like, what if I break my leg while I'm out here in Kumasi, which is 4 hours inland of Accra? What if I break my leg out here? There's no ambulance that's gonna come and get me and transport me to the hospital in an efficient manner. I'm gonna have to get with people around me, some neighbors and shit, and we're gonna have to find a taxi, and we have to eventually. I'm spoiled. I can't go through all that.
when
That's
you
just me.
say and when you say you're spoiled, right? It sounds as if you're saying you're an American. Like the reason you can't do that is because you're an American and you value the things you're able to do here as an American, and to move back to West Africa, most of what you're able to do, you won't be able to do. Most of the values you have may not be valued there.
It's
So,
not about
you can
values. It's not
correct me
about
if I'm wrong, but I think,
right. It's not. T Ben, you want to add something on to what he's asking?
Yo, yeah, I wanted to jump in on there because here in Houston, we have the second largest population of Nigerians outside of Nigeria. So it's a lot of Nigerians in Houston, and I befriend a lot of Nigerians. I work with some, met my family. What they always stress is that how good we have it here in the U.S. And look, I understand our history just like anybody else does, but it's certain things that we do have access to that they just simply don't. Like Chief X is speaking about the ambulance, for example, the streets that you drive on. A lot of places like that don't exist in a lot of their villages. So I understand what he's saying about being spoiled. My wife went to Ghana years ago, and she stressed some of the same points. Is that things we have access to in the U.S. far exceeds what you'll see in a lot of places in West Africa. Not all, but a lot.
Yeah, and that I absolutely agree with that. And another point that what I was trying to make was that whenever whenever we get together as African Americans to do any type of celebration, or I'm sure if we were to get together as West African Americans to have any type of celebration, it would be more focused on the African side or on the West African side, and it really wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with the American side. Like, we don't really celebrate being American. Even though we refer to ourselves as African American, we celebrate the African side and not the American side. But it's clear that the stuff we value in life and the stuff we value come from the American side. And so it's like we don't really value the stuff that really benefit us, or we don't celebrate the stuff. Rather, we don't celebrate the stuff that really benefit us, and we celebrate
Well,
the stuff that's kind of just there.
you know how it's like pulling a fish out of water. A fish doesn't know it's in water until you pull it out. So a lot of the times we don't even know what we do that's considered American. I don't know if you've ever traveled internationally, but you will know fast that you're an American because people will let it be known that you're an American. Small things. It could be the way, like, personal space. We value that in America. Some places they don't value personal space like that. So you're thinking you all up on somebody, and they're thinking like this is just normal. So it's just little small stuff that you don't even really pick up on until you get out of your quote unquote bubble.
True.
That makes
So
sense. You
like,
know what I'm saying?
I don't know if American Dream is talking, but like to piggyback, we had like Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a celebration here for us. We
It
celebrate
definitely is.
Martin Luther King and what the Black Church did in America. We celebrate the things that we done, achievements that happened as Black Americans. You know what I mean? But people just don't realize what it is. You know what I mean? So
I mean, we get together for the family reunions, and we go outside and we do barbecues and line dances, and certain music come on and we feel nostalgic about. That's Black American.
me, when I pop lock, that's Black
Indeed,
American culture.
that's a good point.
Pop locking, break dancing, that's Black American culture. I celebrate it.
Yeah,
We only have, you know what, about 300 years to figure out what we can celebrate as Black Americans. I mean,
that's true. That's very true. We ain't been there a lot of time to even consider ourselves to be like ancient here. Have ancient history in America. So a lot of stuff is new and relative to a lot of other places.
Why do you suppose we always want to attach some other thing to American though? Why aren't we just okay with being American?
you broke up a little bit. Start it over.
I was just asking, why do we prefer to add on something to our American to be an American? It's got to be African American, West African American, Black American. Why aren't we okay with just being American? When
Um,
when
Historical context, in
American
my opinion.
when regardless of what we add to it, everything we value is just the American stuff. So why do we like to just add on stuff that really aren't adding any value? If anything, they're taking away from the value.
you, you, you,
Identity.
yeah, I did it. I think you can kind of confuse the question. I think you're confusing yourself with the question. So, like, like last night I was on a live stream, and what I said was my nationality. We have what we call nationalities. My nationality is American. I'm an American. Period. Now, I say Black America because Black is a description, not my nationality. I'm strictly American. On my passport, it says American. I say Black American to describe what type of American I am. This is what I do. Like if somebody shoot up a school and kill a bunch of kids, people always want to know. They know he's more than likely an American, but they want to know who shot up the school. Was he a white American or was he a black American? Which is just a description of what type of American. Was he Mexican American? Was he Japanese American? Just a description of what type of American. Did you want to say something, T-Man?
Yeah, I just want. Yeah, I got to run in a second, but I wanted to say this just to add to that point. I don't know of the names right now, but let's say there is a popular Mexican American artist that makes great music. Let's say you put that music on. Would you consider that to be American music or Mexican American music? If I put on some Will Smith music or whatever, and you play it to somebody in Russia, you're gonna say Black American music. You're not just gonna say American music, because America is like it's not like a melting pot, more like a salad. All these different types of cultures in one place. So everybody want to have their identity, but we're part of what we call America. So we don't want to lose where we come from. That's my answer.
That was a good point you made. Like if you was
Sure, I
in
guess.
Russia, if you was in Russia playing back, you had to say that's Black American music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I understand why, someone from Nigeria would call themselves a Nigerian American. But we're talking about black like Americans. Why do Americans who have never visited Africa, have never been to West Africa, but they still want to call themselves West African American? So with immigrants, I think it's just a different dynamic.
I've never heard nobody say West African American.
Yeah,
He
that's
got
just
it
what
on
Chief
your
X
hat,
says.
bro.
But he's the only one I know say that.
Got it on his hat.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's a cool catch line. But keep this in
Yeah,
mind too.
but we've heard people add on Black American.
I just explained that American dream. I thought we could move on from that point. I said we say black as a description. I'm an American.
Heard
So
African.
what type of American?
Still like
There's
you're
Asian
about
Americans
how
that I work with. And they call themselves that. I work for an energy company. We have people from Asia, from South Korea, people that are from France, people that are from South America, people that are from the Middle East. They describe themselves as not only Americans. They put whatever they're from behind it. Now, as far as we're concerned,
American Dream,
Go
you're
ahead, bro.
breaking up. Go ahead, finish T Ben. Let him finish American Dream because you're breaking up.
yeah, I was gonna say, part of we have an identity crisis. So a lot of the times, we know we come from Africa. Our issue is that we don't know exactly which tribe we come from. We're a mixture of different tribes. We went through our slave period.
how tall?
What was that?
He need to get better internet service.
I didn't ask how old I was. I think.
No.
Hey, well, I got a jet, man. I gotta get some groceries.
Hey, I appreciate you, Big T Ben. Much love. Take
I
care of that.
appreciate you, brother.
Take care of that baby girl.
Hey, she'll be 4 on the 19th, brother.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's growing, man.
You gonna have another one?
If the good Lord say so.
Okay. Peace out.
All right, bro, peace.
Tell the wife I said I love her and I love the family.
Peace to that, brother. I appreciate that.
All right.
Peace.
I don't know if you can hear American Dream. He fell off. Yeah, so people. Wait a minute, what do I want to do? Let me stop screen sharing. All right. So, guess this was long enough. We went on an hour and 50 minutes. Let me see if I missed something in the chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me put this back up. Cash App. All right, let me just read a few comments and see if I missed a question up in here. Would you say Afro Jam said Mexicans have issues with Mexican Americans? I guess y'all are arguing amongst each other in the chat. I'll stay out of that. Afrocentrism critiqued up in here. We say Poppin' Pete. Poppin' Pete is the greatest popper of all times, in my opinion. Poppin' Pete. Dove Dream, who are you arguing with up in here? Dove Dream and Dr. Banuba arguing? I thought y'all would get along. See, people have to understand Dr. Panoob is a straight shooter. He'll say something, and sometimes it'd be so hard or it'd be so truthful, it shocks people, and people take it as racism. But sometimes he just spitting the real. Like if you say cops was to themselves, they didn't fuck with no other people, and whatever he said, what I mean, they stayed away, but they wasn't having sex with everybody else. They stuck with themselves. We weren't tribal like everybody else, and that seems racist to people. But when you really listen to him and think about it, it's kind of true. It's the same thing with the Cherokee tribe in America. People think blacks and Native Americans was just screwing. Nope. People don't even know the Cherokee had in their bylaws. The Cherokee, the Choctaw, they had in their bylaws. You're not to sleep with the slaves, meaning black folk. You can be banished or removed from the tribe if you're sleeping with the slaves, if you're sleeping with the African Americans. People don't know that. So, although it went on, it was far from prevalent. And this is why a lot of black Americans don't have Native American DNA, because Native Americans and black folk was not fucking like people think. I have 12% European because European and black folk was fucking and mixing. Not as much Native Americans. So they do have some people do have Native American, but it's far and few in between. So it's the same thing with Coptics, cops. They weren't just screwing with all the different invaders that was coming in. Nope. They stuck to themselves and their family, and you know what I mean? People had standards and shit. Would you say Merc Boxcar? Good point. T-Band promoting West Africa. Love Chief X promoting family. Mother, father in the house, family sale. Yes. That's more important. See, the first nation is your immediate family. Mom, dad, and children. That is key and most important. Right? Like I always tell people, my brother, Willie Shelton, is way more responsible than me. I was married before, but I'm a player, and you know what I mean. I'm more mischievous than my brother. My brother's been married since he was 19, I think. I might be off. Same wife, married, same wife today. My brother has never cheated. Raised three of his kids. All of his kids are successful with master's degrees and stuff like that. He was more disciplined. So his family unit thrived because he had a family unit. He had a nation to go throughout the to navigate in this society. So the institution of marriage is a great institution. You know what I mean? All men of power. Listen to what I'm telling you. All men of power of note who thrived and were seriously successful, whether they're politicians and had a wife and was married. You can't even become president if you don't have a wife. That's how serious it is. Martin Luther King, married. Malcolm X, married. Barack Obama, married. All major leaders were married men. And marriage and a wife keeps you grounded. Like people in the conscious community who I deal with in my circle, listen to what I'm telling you. This is gonna fuck you up. Listen to what I'm telling you. I hope Chevron and Cory is listening right now. The men in this community who are honest and real and don't have no agenda and shit like that, and who've sided with me and agree with me are Chevron and Cory. And guess what? Chevron and Cory are married men. They represent their wife and they have children and they're married men. Guess who are not married? No, I think Smash Rockwater's married, but I don't really rep his wife. I don't hear him talk about his wife. Reggie's not married. Ankh's not married. These niggas is just single men fledgling around, running their mouth on YouTube talking shit. They don't rep their wife. So I have respect for married people and people who carry on the family unit and do that. Now, I was once married, but I'm not married no more. My children are grown and independent and out the house, and I live in my place alone. And I'm going to die. No, I'm not going to die, live alone. I told my lady friend, we might shack up when we hit 75 or something, when we're too old and we may need each other's help. But I'm at a different stage in life with people. I just like living alone. It's more peaceful for me. Everybody has different ways about themselves, right? Acadia says wealth means nothing without a legacy. So true, right? So my brother and his family, they even make more money than I do. See, they have a family unit. You know what I mean? The wife makes money, the husband makes money, they own a home, and they move as a unit and progress better than a single man could progress. Yep, Afrocentrism critique said married men are leaders and wise. Yep. All black leaders, all white leaders, no matter what race you are, 90% of the time they're married and are grounded with a wife and a family. So I went to the comments. Nobody really had no questions. People just in the chat arguing amongst each other. um, and I had to make this video and hit these cats with the left hook. The left hook legend, Joe Frazier. I Joe Frazier these cats. All right, y'all. Peace out. I'm out of here. I might go live again later on today, and the title may be Black is not a social construct. It's a social reality. Black is not a social construct. It's a social reality. That's going to be the title. I'm out, y'all.